This is Beelzebub of Mystic Circle, and I see you at the Tampa Morgue.
I am Belial, the devil in the flesh.
What's up? This is Tony, and you're listening to the Tampa Morgue, episode number 54. And as always, I am joined by my co-host, Mr. Ed Webb. What's up? How's everything in the Sunshine State, man?
Mr. Anderson, what's going on, brother?
Same old, same old. What's today? It's Friday, right?
It is Friday, the 26th of July.
Yeah, I've been traveling all week, man. We did the family. This is our time of year where we kind of do the summer travel. We went to Latvia and we went to this beach area called Palanga here in Lithuania. Then we're going to Poland next month. So it's kind of like our I guess you would call it like our holiday period. My wife gets off of work and stuff, and we kind of travel around, man. So it's been really hectic, but it's been great weather, and I can't complain. I'm going to a wedding tomorrow. Dovidus, he's getting married from Crypts of Despair. Luctus, who we had on this show a couple months ago. So it's just been really busy. And me and you, man, we've been getting ready for, obviously we're playing, which was announced yesterday. I saw officially on the Swarm Fest page. We'll be playing at Swarm Fest on November 23rd. They haven't announced everybody yet. We know some of the other bands that are playing. It's going to be killer. They haven't announced them yet, but some of the bands that they did announce yesterday. Let me see here. I think some of these bands may have been announced already. Like Pessimist was announced already. I think we've talked about that on the show that they're playing.
Yep.
Druid Lord. Let me see here. What else here is called Doing It on the Fly. Hibernus Mortis, which we talked. I think we knew about them playing already too. Tunnels of Set is playing, which I do know. My buddy Joey's playing with them now. And it's going to be announced. There's going to be like 30 bands on that festival. So what does it take place? It's a Friday through Sunday. They got Nasty Savage, I know, is playing on the Sunday night, headlining. And then, so what is it? It's Friday, what's that, November 21st till the 24th?
22nd.
22nd, yeah.
23rd. We're playing the 23rd Saturday.
Yeah, and then you have some stuff coming up at Monstrosity too.
I do. I got a show next month on the 17th in Texas, and then we're playing in October. I think it's October 22nd or 12th. No, 12th in California.
And that's the one with Dismember?
Yeah, both of them are Dismember. Nasty Savage is playing in Texas. I think they're playing the same day we are, if I saw it right. So them and oh man, I can't remember who the other band was because I was excited. I was like, oh wow, this will be pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, the lineup's pretty killer. I remember seeing it.
More thrash on the second day, which was weird, and then we're up there in the
Sacrifice
in the mix,
on that one.
No, the California one.
California one they're on.
Yeah, but it'll be killer. I mean, it's just one of those flying for a fest. I guess I don't know, is it festival or whatever you call it. I guess if it's a couple days, they consider that a festival. Fly in, play a gig, fly out. That's really, plus I'm getting ready for my major surgery coming up. So I'm kind of in between both of those shows will be.
Ed's getting a pair of breasts added.
I am bigger. I'm going bigger. I don't like the ones I have.
Well, the Hubar
I think they're leaking. So I got to get some bigger ones, but yeah.
I mean, hopefully that's going to be a fast recovery for you. Cause I know we've been trying to kind of book shows around. We know you're getting a surgery. What is it? Do you know the surgery date? Was it the 18th?
Yeah, 29th. 29th.
So we're just getting everything set up. So we, cause you're going to be off for a little bit. So we're trying to figure that all out. Cause we have August 7th, which we have Mike, we have King Fally coming on the 7th from Deceased, October 31, which should be an awesome show. Well, we've been mentioning that a few times. And we have Mike Diana, for August 10th. And he obviously, for anybody who doesn't know his story, he was a comic book artist from Largo. And Deanna, he got arrested for basically art. He was a suspect in the Gainesville murders. They figured out it wasn't him, but they still arrested him for his artwork being too explicit. It's pretty crazy, man.
Yeah, that's not. I'm sorry, man. Freedom of speech and. It's a comic book. I mean, if you went off of comic books like Wolverine cutting people's heads off and back in the day, or even the Dracula comics, they were way more brutal than anything this guy did. And for
Boiled Angel was really fucking explicit, but
that's the thing.
It was done on purpose.
Remember the original Heavy Metal that they made the movie?
He was a fan of that, yeah.
You couldn't get that comic book unless you were 18 years old.
Yep.
I mean, when we were growing up. Of course, we got it because we had scumbag friends who would get it. But, it was just one of those things that it's explicit for a reason.
Yeah, and Mike, I haven't seen him do too much press. There was actually a documentary, which is kind of hard to find about, the Boiled Angel. about his comic and what he went through, because I mean what he went through is so insane, and I really look forward to having him on the show because I think a lot of people don't know his story, and his story is, like I said, it's crazy, man. They really fucked him. I mean, he wound up having to relocate to New York City. He still does art. He's done album covers for bands like Autopsy. He's done art for Fornicator. I mean, a bunch of stuff. We'll talk to him all about that, but he'll be on August 10th. And whoever's listening, we do have Beelzebub coming on from Mystic Circle. We just opened up the show with Belial is my name, for the Mystic Circle record from 2022 that came out on Atomic Fire Records. So we'll be talking to him very soon. Actually, we'll get him set up here in a couple minutes. But Mystic Circle's been around for a long time. It'll be good to catch up with him and see what's going on. But Ed, it's been, like we said, it's been kind of crazy month. We have a bunch of stuff that we're working on that we're not going to announce yet because we don't ever really announce our guests until we 100% have the date locked. We have some good ones coming up though. We're always busy. I mean, even though we're trying to put out one show a week now, because what we were doing is at one time we were putting out like 2 a week sometimes, and
it was just getting too much.
Yeah, because we kind of really take time on our episodes. We tried to, at least. And, it was just, like you said.
Well, it's not, we do in-depth interviews. So to really go deep dive into somebody, it takes a lot of time. And again, we're doing this because we enjoy it. And, it's very difficult when, you're not getting paid for something, but you got to put a bunch of time into it. So that's why we need to spread it out just a little to make the content just that much better.
And once a week, you don't burn people out and stuff.
No.
I mean, we've done 54 episodes. I mean, we'll actually be
in a year.
It'll be a year. So I was saying August 30th, but actually the first show we ever did was August 5th. So
was
I was
it?
Incorrect. Yeah. So it was August 5th. That was the first episode, which you can go back and hear all our episodes. I mean,
so technically we did almost a show a week.
Yeah,
on average at 54, with this being 54. So that's something. I mean, that's something right there.
And I didn't think when we started doing this, I really didn't see that happening. I was like, oh, we'll do a couple episodes, see how it works. And we just started rolling, and we've had some great guests on. I mean, we always mention it. We've had people like Snowy Shaw, Dawn of the Dead from Gunslaughter, Vincent Crowley from Restaurant, Blaine Cook from The Accused, Toe Tag,
Dave Austin
from Nasty Savage, DNA. Who else we've had? We've had Art the Clown, David Howard Thornton. So they have the October 11th is the new.
Yep.
It's the new part 3 of Terrifier, and I'm sure it's going to be killer. I saw Bill Moseley's going to be in it. I've already kind of hit the resources to get Damien on, eventually. So that's kind of in the works, but we want to. The movie's not out till October. We've had a bunch of people. We just had Matt on, and that was kind of the last episode we did with Matt from Untimely Demise. That was kind of thrown together in basically like 2 days.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was a last minute thing because it just worked out. We wanted to do an episode because me and you were going to do our own thing, and then we realized, man, it's probably easier if we get somebody.
Yeah, because you toured with Matt and stuff. So
yeah, I've known him a long time.
He played on one of our records back on, was it 2000?
18,
2008.
17, 18.
Yeah, we can't even remember. It was Insomniac Death Parade record. He did a solo on, which he played great on it. So we've known Matt for a while, so we hit him up and just brought him on last week. So anybody who's checked that out, we really appreciate it. We also had Bloody F Mess, which, I mean, to me, it was definitely, even if you're not into he's definitely more of a punk artist, but stories on that were definitely worth checking out. So as always, we always appreciate everybody who checks us out and listens and spreads the word. We're kind of figuring it out as we go. We're going to have some merchandise eventually soon. Me and Ed have been talking about getting some T-shirts, which maybe we'll have some stuff available at the Tampa show when we play there in November.
Would be killer.
Yeah, so we're working on a bunch of stuff. And like I said, Ed, you got 2 shows coming up. Is there anything else you could think of before we get Beelzebub all set up?
Not really. Keep money in your savings account. Don't keep money in your checking account.
Yeah, you got someone basically.
Yeah, man. Some fucking.
On you.
Yeah, man. Woke up and apparently somebody wrote a fraudulent check from one of my bank accounts for almost $9,000, and now they're making me out to be the villain, because I want my money back. So people don't realize, man, $9,000 is a lot of fucking money, especially with the economy today.
Yeah.
And dude, that would literally destroy somebody. So.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
That's a crusher for a lot of families and a lot of people who are, things are, even in Eastern Europe, things are, like we went to Latvia this week, and even I could tell the prices there up about 15%. I mean, it's everything is up. Obviously we all know gas is up, everything, but I mean, even in the Eastern Europe, everything has went up. It's not as bad here in Lithuania, but I'll feel the pain when I go to Florida, because last time I was in Tampa, it was pretty freaking expensive.
You're gonna fucking go bankrupt when you come back. Yeah, well, when the lady tells you to, you should probably just keep all your money in a savings account. I'm like, so what's the purpose of having a checking account? That's where you pay your bills. So I just got I got to go in like convenience myself to move money back into my checking to pay my bills, because some scumbag could write a check or use my debit card. That's what I don't even use a debit card anymore. Everything I do is credit, and I pay it off at the end of the month. This way I'm using somebody else's money. I ain't fucking around with that no more. But yeah, that hurt.
Out.
Oh, dude, this lady couldn't even tell me nothing. I'm like, how'd you generate this fake check? I don't know. I'm like, you don't know. You don't know? You just gave somebody my money. You didn't even ask if it was a legit check. You just assume. That's the problem, is there's no checks and balances of checking. Like, I've had it to where I've gone to use my credit card, and I get a thing on my text saying, somebody's trying to make this purchase. Is this you? And I have to say yes and then redo the purchase, because they're making sure it's not a scam. But a $9,000 check, you just, that looks legit. Fucking assholes.
Fun.
Angry Ed came out that day. He was fucking, and plus, I took my truck in for service. So I took it to the place my dad used to go to, because they did all the work on his truck. It was my truck. There was no way I was taking it back to the wheel fall off place. Fuck that place. And I even told the guy, I'm like, hey man, can you make sure the lug nuts are tight? And I told him the story, and he just fucking face palmed himself. He was like, oh my God.
You think you wouldn't have to tell somebody that?
2 hours, bro, for a fucking oil change that I made an appointment for. 2 hours sitting there yelling at the chick from Discover in the fucking lobby. I'm like, my life can't get much fucking more pitiful than that shit.
There you go. It's always happy times.
Yep.
Yeah, so I guess let's get Beelzebub set up here. And what we'll do is we're going to play from the 223 album, Urza Demon, which will tell me if I'm saying that wrong when we have him on, the song Scarecrow. This is from Fire Flash Records. This is from Mystic Circle from the 2023 album. And the song is called Scarecrow. And we'll be back on with Beelzebub after this track. See you back at the Tampa Morgue. And that was the song Scarecrow from Mystic Circle from the 2023 record. No, Beelzebub. Am I saying this right? Demon. Is that correct?
Yes,
Okay, so and actually
it's
we are
correct.
joined by Beelzebub from Mystic Circle. How you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty fine. We are pretty excited because we are waiting to go on the studio in September for the new record. So everything is fixed, and we are very excited. New record deal. We work together again with Raining Phoenix, with Marcus Voskin from Raining Phoenix Music,
Who those who
and
don't know
everything
also
is
helped you on
like,
your first debut album, actually promoting that record.
yeah, it was. Yeah, we always worked together with Marcus Voskin, but it was Atomic Fire Records. Now they changed in Raining Phoenix, but we are on it. So with the next records, we are also on it. So yeah, we are pretty excited and we are ready to go.
Great, man. And we look forward to talking to you about all that. And first of all, before we get started, man, how's everything in Germany? How's your summer going? Are you guys getting a hot summer over there?
No, it's pretty. We have lots of rain and it's not too hot, which is good for me. I don't like it so much, but yeah, everything is relaxed. Everything is cool.
Great. So, okay, we're going to start out with your beginning actually to get to know you a little bit for the listeners who don't know who you are or don't know too much about you. You were born in now, like I said, I might butcher some of these names, so feel free to correct me on any of it, man. You were born in. Were you born in Ludwig-Wassen?
Where?
You were born in Germany, right? You were born in Ludwig-Wassen, is it pronounced?
Ah, yeah, it's near Ludwigshafen, Mannheim, Frankfurt. As maybe Frankfurt is it's in that area. Yes.
Is that by the
Uh-huh.
Rhine River too, and all that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Correct.
Okay. And when you were growing up there, what was kind of what do you remember as a kid, like before the metal, before the music and stuff like that? What do you remember? It was like, is it an artistic area, like very with museums and stuff? What was the setting you remember as a kid?
Mm. Yeah, I grew up. My father was a rock and roll rock fan, and I always also as a child I listened to like Blondie, punk music, or Elvis Presley, and then came AC/DC or Peter Frampton, that whole rock shit, it's like Jimi Hendrix, and I grew up with that. And my father took me also to local concerts. Like, yeah, my first concert was a local rocker, like you don't know this, he's called Udo Lindenberg. And then I started to getting more in this rock extreme metal scene. Yeah, that's it.
Do you remember the
I grew
first
up
music that
all.
actually like caught your attention? Like whether it be like you mentioned Elvis, I know like in ACDC and Blondie and stuff. But what was the
Yeah,
first? Do you remember what? Because for me, I think of like ACDC, I think of Bon Scott era. That just really caught my ear as a kid. Do you remember the
yeah.
thing that really just hooked you right away? Like there's the Kisses and stuff like that that we all kind of the gateway drugs.
To me was the Back in Black album from AC/DC. That was the point where I really got into that harder music. And the live album from, I remember when from Peter Frampton, this Peter Comes Alive. At this time I listened at a kid, so I was, and the Alive 2 from Kiss. That was such trigger points for me to get in this. Although I was a big Blondie fan because I loved
Yes, I
her
mean,
look and so on. Yeah,
and
yeah,
even ACDC, you mentioned the Back in Black record. If you put that on to this day, the production on that album just sounds great still.
brutal. Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
was there a lot of record stores where you grew up in your hometown? Was there like,
Yes, yeah. Good to remember. Yeah, there was a in not in my hometown, but in the near area there were quite a lot records stores, and these guys were real freaky in it. They have under the table, they have, I have something special for you, this and this, and you can listen to all the vinyls, as you know. And yeah, it was a special time. Like also with the movies, in the VHS movies, you can you didn't have internet. You have to change things. I have this movie. I have this movies. Or you go to the parents. They have hidden these horror movies somewhere, and yeah, it was a special time.
don't you miss those days? I mean, you think about like, even on this podcast, we don't do video, so we just do audio because we try to kind of keep. Me and Ed grew up, in Jersey, where it was a lot of the college radio where they played. You had to actually imagine things when you listened to it. It was kind of like this mystique to it. And now, I personally feel like a lot of everyone's doing videos of this now and this and that. What do you feel like now is a little too much? Where it's too easy to find out what your favorite band ate for lunch or ate for dinner or etc.
Yeah, of course. I mean, when you see an old horror movie, for example, and you compare it with with a special time, in your life, and it was like when you now see that movie again, of course you can't have the same feelings than you see it at that time, because it's also lifestyle, the 80s or the 90s. Yeah, in some kind I miss those days because it was a very cool time, but also um, with the internet and something, you can do much more when you write songs or something. It's much more easy to, when you have a picture in your mind, to get information. So that's not a bad point, I think. But also, you know when I now watch movies, horror movies or something, I'm not in the slasher thing anymore, like, oh, it's bloody gore and I love it. I'm more in that mystical way. So for me also, or Stranger Things, I like such movies, like they
You were
have
into
this
Mothman
80
too,
vibe.
right? Mothman and stuff like that.
Yeah, of course, this mystery stuff, I love it more. But also the old horror stuff, like Dario Argento or something, it's like great. Or Vincent Price, the old Hammer movies,
Yeah, definitely. I know,
great stuff. Yeah,
I know that Hammer was a big influence to you guys, which we'll talk about too.
yeah.
Do you remember the first actual, like, I know you mentioned the first concert you ever went to, but what was the first big artist you saw?
What do you
The
mean?
first big artist you saw, like, say, a Kiss. I know you saw Alice Cooper, right? On the, which I think was
Yeah,
the Live in the Flesh tour, which was supported the '87 Raise Your Fist and Yell album,
yeah.
um,
With Kane Roberts
which is awesome. Yeah, yeah. I
on
mean,
the guitar,
and what's
great.
funny is so I had read that during that tour for him, the German
Mhm.
government actually forced him to remove parts of his show. Did you know
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
Yeah, and
I know that.
yeah, I mean,
Uh,
I thought that was surprising, but I also remember as a kid buying the Kiss records, and
mhm,
if you ever got a German edition of the Kiss records, the logo was always
mhm,
different than the one that we had in the States. The
mhm.
S's at the end, they would change and stuff. So, but was that the first? Like, what was the first big artist show you saw?
Well, it was in the same year. It was Iron Maiden on the Somewhere in Time tour with Wasp. Yeah, that was a great tour. Also, I watched on the Turbo Lovers tour Judas Priest, Manowar lots of times. AC/DC on the Fly on the Wall tour. That was great. Metallica on the Justice for All tour with Queensryche. Yeah, lots of great concerts. Monsters of Rock at this time with Vanessa Warwick. There was Kiss Unmasked. Yeah, for the other concerts, also they played in our area Kiss in the 70s, but I was too young. It was 79. And AC/DC, they played there with Bon Scott. But that was, I was a little bit too late in the age. I'm born in in 72, so yeah.
A little bit late to the party for all that.
Yeah. But I visit always also underground concerts when Gorefest were very small. The death metal band Gorefest.
Yeah,
They played in our area, and we had lots of underground concerts also.
you were also a fan of, which I know you still are, which we'll talk about that too. Is you're also a fan of punk and hardcore.
Yeah.
Um, Bands like Gangrene, who it's a great. I mean, shit.
Blackwall was more a Gangrene fan. I was more in this Gorilla Biscuits,
Yeah.
Ramones, yeah, this stuff.
Gnostic Front.
But yeah, yeah. Mhm.
So you, like I said,
Bad Brains.
yeah, Bad Brains. I mean, shit. I mean, that's. Um, did you ever get to go to CBGBs at all?
No,
No.
and it with Mystic Circle we never toured North America. That's very sad. We had no we had no opportunity because we have had no, in the past we had no big label. We had no proper release in the States, so that's very sad.
And when you were growing up, and so in high school, what was the metal scene like for you in high school? Is that
Oh,
also
that
where you and Blackmore met up?
What do you mean?
High school. How was like what was high school like? Was there like the metal scene there? And is that also where you
Yeah,
and Blackmore met up? Became
yeah.
friends?
Black Wine, myself were at different places. We met the first time at underground concerts, and we became friends. And we started to share our common interests in metal, hardcore, horror stuff, and we founded Mystic Circle. Then, yeah, we had a yeah. The scene was big. There was a big punk scene, a big heavy metal scene, a big rehearse. There were many rehearse rooms for bands. So yeah, there were quite a big scene. Also a cock rock scene. How is it called?
Yeah,
This
the 80s
cock
hair
rock.
metal or glam,
Yeah,
whatever.
there were. Yeah, and we have lots of locations, lots of venues, lots of clubs.
What are
It
some
was
venues
pretty
that you
cool.
remember as a kid growing up in that area?
Well, we had in Heidelberg, we had the Schwimmbad Club, it's called. There were lots of metal things. We had an American club like Uncle Sam's, it's called in Mannheim. Yeah, there were quite a few basement, underground. Underground was based, I guess, in the what like the local underground, like the underground venues in London. It was an underground sign, and there were independent days, and yeah. Then we have the youth clubs. There were there were many concerts, like even Slayer played there in Mannheim in a before they get famous. They played there in a very small club in maybe 200 people or something
Oh, nice.
in Mannheim. Yeah.
And so, do you remember what's the first time you actually picked up an instrument?
Oh, that was very young. I was very young. I started to play guitar, and then maybe with 8 or something. Then I canceled it. I was never such a good musician, I must say. What we can, Blackwire and myself are not the best musicians, but we have visions. So we have a song complete in the head, so we can say, yeah, this. You know what I mean? More composers than fantastic musicians or something. Yeah,
Well,
with 8, I started to play guitar, and then ever since I played the bass and
are you
such.
self-taught?
So what?
Are you self-taught? Did you teach yourself?
Yeah, I can't play the notes because the thing is on my side, I regret a little bit because I'm never into this theoretic stuff. It's in my life. I do what I want to do, and I do it from the instinct. But maybe I could learn more the harmonies, and so it's more it's better for. But I never did it. I'm not so good in it in the theory.
And so now, so what was your first guitar? Because what now you play what a DC Rich? You play the Mockingbird and you play an Iron Bird, right? Well, what is it? What was your first actual instrument you owned? Like, what was the first guitar you got or bass?
Boy, it was an acoustic guitar, but I don't know what name. The bass, it was a no name, but I don't know anymore. It was with 11 or something, and then I had it. Maybe a Gibson. I must lie, but it was a very cheap guitar at this time. When I was 10 or 11, my father bought me some. So yeah.
And
But
so,
I'm not a guitarist. I can play a little bit, but I'm not a. I would say I'm not a guitarist. I'm not such a good. We can play, but I'm not a virtuose
you're not
guitar
Ingve.
player. No. Yeah.
And you actually, your first band was in '86, a punk metal band.
Not really. I played together with some guys who were in the punk scene, in the hardcore scene, but I did I did darker lyrics. It was a little bit in the satanic lyrics. It was against the Bible. I used a text from the Bible, but make him reverse like in the darker ones. It was against. You know what I mean? So yeah.
And that was a
It was not
feeling.
really punk. It was metal, but it was cheap. It was like punk riffs, because we were not good on the instruments.
And you mentioned the religion thing, and we'll touch that just for a second, though. But you knew right away. Like I had read that your dad had taken you to church, and you felt uncomfortable the minute you got there, pretty much, in a certain room, and you wanted. I'll let you elaborate on that a little bit.
Yeah, not my dad. It was my grandparents, and it was each Sunday. It was the same horror for them because I was like an obsessed guy, like a little obsessed baby. Possessed baby. From there, they carried me to the church, and I always felt uncomfortable, and I don't want to go in this shit church. And was I was since I was a kid, I was against this. I don't know why. It's it's in my blood, in my veins that I don't know.
You just knew
I
right.
don't felt comfortable in this room. Maybe that's why I'm satanic now and did that lyrics and
Well, and I know with you, for you at first it was a defiance thing, right? And then it became more of a, I guess I would say my metaphor. It became a way of life for you. But at first it was done like, all of us, when you're that age, it's kind of a fuck society thing and fuck what you're told to do and what you're supposed to believe, right? Is that's pretty much how it started for you also?
absolutely, absolutely.
No.
It was a rebellion. I always say, in my younger age, it was a rebellion thing, and now it's more inspiration. I use this sign of Satan or sign of pentagrams for inspirations. For it's like a meditations for songwriting to get in my world, and yeah. And for me, it's also not a bad sign. It's a good sign in my eyes. And also, this when I go in this dark, melancholic world in my head, it makes me calm. For other, maybe they have fear or they don't feel well about it, but in some way, I feel well in it. So.
Yeah. And your first time in the studio was that? Because I know you played a band called Crematory. You guys did a '92 demo that you played on. Was that the first time you were actually in a recording studio, or had you recorded prior to that?
Yeah, that was the first time we did. Yeah, it was the first time I was in the studio, but not the first time we recorded. With other guys, we recorded in the rehearsal room, like thing. But the real studio, we did this demo with Crematory. Yeah.
And then so basically what '92? This is the same year. You and Blackwar decided to put together Mystic Circle. So you were about 24. You're what, about 24 at that time?
Yeah, it was Black One, myself, as far as I remember, rehearsed in the same house, and we got lots of a good contact and become friends. And then I was not satisfied with Gramatory because I was a very extreme metal fan. I want to have this. I want to play this heavy music, this dark satanic music. So I quit Gramatory, and we founded in '92. We founded Mystic Circle, and then we went to the studio and record 3 demos. Then
And you guys did. So you guys with the name Mystic Circle. So what is that, like a circle of people into the same dark arts? Is that the theory for you guys behind that name? And who chose the name?
yeah. Um, yeah, it's not only the music. It's like the Mystic Circle should be coming together of people who are interested in mystical stories, in the satanic way, um, in extreme music, in good music, and yeah, it should be. They should stay together in the interests, for the dark art. I would describe. Yeah.
So you guys start working on. You guys had two other guitar players, Dirk and Thorsten, I believe their names, were joined you. Were they schoolmates of yours? And what were the early like Mystic Circle rehearsals like? Were you guys like jamming every day, or
Yeah, it was Mystic Circle was, I would say, from '92 to 2000 when Blackwall left. It was like you can compare it like a brotherhood. Like we lived together. Like it's like it was the way of life. It was our complete life was. We hang out in the studio for 6 weeks. We our practice room was full of satanic symbols. We made music, but we also hang around the whole time. It was like a gang.
And the other two guitar players, you met them from school?
No, it was. I think the whole collective was. We played. They were from other bands, and we meet, and then yeah, they played with us.
And you guys did a 6-song demo that got lost. Is that factual also?
Yeah, you mean the Dark Passion demo?
Dark Passion demo. What before that though? Was there another demo you guys did that actually that never got put out?
We recorded songs, and yeah, we lost we lost the tape. That's right. You know more than me. It's crazy. Yeah, it's good because you keep the thing I lost in my head, so you you reactivate them.
Like the flashbacks here.
Mhm.
And what was the first Mystic Circle show? Because I know you guys' first tour was in '97 with which was a killer Gorgoroth lineup,
Yeah.
or Noir. But what was the first Mystic Circle actual show?
I guess we had two shows, and one of them was with in Mannheim with Blood. You know
Oh
Blood,
yeah, from
the
Germany.
band.
Yep. You guys
Yeah,
did a split with them too, which we'll talk about also.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. So yeah, that was the first two shows, and it was really cool because we had on this one show we had fire effects, and it was the start and the direction where in which way we go there. We had a wall paint, and it was pretty cool and successful. People loved it.
And you mentioned the first demo that was actually released, Dark Passion demo. That was recorded at Sound Bunker Studios, where you mentioned Blood had recorded there before, and you guys
Mhm.
actually spent a lot of time there, which was for the beginning of you guys started because you guys did three
Yeah,
demos, one full length and a split from that studio. The first
yeah,
demo was
and
four.
the more yeah,
Yep.
and the Morgan were the first full length album we did also there.
Yeah, all at Sound Bunker Studios. So
Yeah.
the first demo was 4 songs, the Dark Passion. But what could you remember about Sound Bunker Studios? What was some memories going there as a young guy?
Well, it was a bunker. It was like the name that it was lots of drinking, party, and I must say, I mean, it was not only Mystic Circle who was in there. There was local guys, and it was a meeting point at this time. So yeah, that was it. Was not only recording. We hang around there, and it was very familiar. And many other musicians came by, and they say hello and blah. It's like it was completely others than because it was more rock and roll.
Were you
We
also
did the
demo
drugs.
trading at that time at all? Were you into the tape trading scene or anything? Like when you first started getting your demo out, when you guys put out the Dark Passion demo, were you like in the tape trading at that time?
Yeah, not so much, but we did. Yeah, also, yeah, we had contacts, and we get more contacts with that trading, and our three demos get went pretty well in the underground. So yeah, you learn to know more and more people from the scene, but also we visit lots of concerts. That was more like the trading. We did a lot of a little bit of trading, but we were more in the local scene on concerts and in the bars and so on. Hang more up like this.
And that demo, you guys had what Mark Foltz, which was Mephisto, I want to say his name was in the band. So how did he get involved? Was it just someone again you met from shows, or you met from like just the local scene?
Well, we also were pretty much Paradise Lost melodic fans, like Paradise Lost or Cemetery or something like this, but in a darker satanic way. So and Mark could play these melodic parts. So for that time he was very good for us because he could play a little bit more of solos, more these melodies which we love. So in that way he was very good, and developed our style. Yeah,
And he was there till
it was a
'97
cool.
with you guys, so he stayed a couple of years with you guys.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, yeah, he was. He was a couple of years. Yeah, yeah, and then he left because of private. We don't have trouble with him, but he left. He was not so interested anymore. It was sad for us because we loved his style to play at this time.
Well, you guys talk about style. You guys always did your own thing, and I mean, if you look at like I've always and I've heard you say in past interviews and that you guys weren't this or that. You're not a black metal band. You're not. You are an extreme metal band in several different aspects. Because you have, you like different music, and you didn't want to be pigeonholed, right? That was a big thing with Mystic Circle from pretty much day one.
Yes, when you listen to the demos till the albums now, um, we talked about Black One and myself talked a few days about it, and I said, okay, it's better played, the production is better now, but all in all, the essence, the origin is still there. So because we can also, bands like Iron Maiden, we come also. I say always we play also traditional heavy metal tabulars, but made in a different disharmonic way. So the melody is always a big thing in Mystic Circle, but also brutality and bombast. So yeah, when we started, it was our idea to do this, and it's our way to write songs. So
And you guys did obviously '95, and I'm not going to try to pronounce. I'm going to pronounce I think the American is the English version of Warriors and Heroes, right? How would I actually say the name Vaughn? I'll let you actually say it so I don't butcher it on you.
von Kriegern und Helden.
Okay, you guys did 1,000 copies of that, and that sold. You guys got rid of that real fast, right? That like kind of that demo kind of caught fire for you guys right away.
Yeah, it brought us people loved it. I don't know if they say it was 1,000, but yeah, it could be 1,000 easy, maybe. I don't know, but we didn't care so much about it. But yeah, this demo brought us lots of people said, ah, yeah, yeah, blah, Mystic Circle, and then the record company said, yeah, we want to do an album, something like that. It was
In '95, what is this though for you guys when you guys are out there? You're playing the clubs, you're doing what you're doing. What was the German scene like band wise? Like actually being in a band, the band you play with, just the scene in general. Did you guys fit in right away, or was it kind of like what was the scene like?
You mean Mystic Circle?
Yeah,
Did they
Mystic
fit in?
Circle and the band you were playing with at the time in '95, like you know the group of bands that you guys would do shows with and stuff. Was there like a brotherhood there, or was it kind of separated, or
Yeah, it was, as I told before, it was a mixture of every genre. There were lots of punk bands, lots of metal fans, traditional, lots of metal bands, lots of death metal bands, extreme metal bands. Then the thrash metal came out. We had such a mix. Gothic bands came out, so we had so much. Yeah, it was a mixture of all genres at this time. Also, we have a big thrash metal scene like Sodom Crater. It's like these guys. They were there. And we were also big fans of them. Destruction Crater. I was a big Sodom fan in my age. So yeah,
I just saw Sodom actually 2 years. They were still great. I saw them over here in
they are
Lithuania.
great. Yeah.
Still killer. I think Ed, you played with them too, right? Over at you just played with
We
them.
never. No, we never played. I th- no, I don't think we played with them.
No,
We
Ed just
played.
actually Ed
We
just
had.
played with
They
them
were,
at
yeah,
Maryland
they were
Death
on the
Fest. I
they
think
were on the
like a couple
70,000
weeks
tons
ago.
too.
They're still killer.
Yeah.
You know.
We had a good relationship with the guys from Destruction. Schmier is a great guy. We played a few times, 4, 5, 6 times with them. And our ex drummer Mark Rain from Mystic Circle, he quit Mystic Circle and started to play with them. Then
Yeah, they're still rolling too. It's some of these bands have been going on forever. They're still killing it. You guys did, and then your third demo. So again, that was, and I guess it would be Gods of the Ancestors, which was actually titled in German. How would I pronounce that title?
Die Götter der Urväter.
And that was 5 tracks, right, and a live track,
But it was one session.
one session.
The Von Krieger und Helden and Die Götter der Urväter was one session, but separated.
Okay. So, and also with your intros, you guys. So I think importance of intros for your band. 'Cause I know, like, I think only Dark Passion out of the first 3 demos didn't have an intro, if I'm correct.
Mhm.
How important do you feel like that is for Mystic Circle in general?
Yeah, as we are big movie fans. We are big fans of concept albums. So it's this theatralic aspect is very necessary for Mystic Circle because Blackwall love it and I love it too. So we see each project we have as a picture. We paint a picture in our mind and then we go for it from the sketch till the end result. So everything from the artwork till the intros till the songwritings till the songs are the flow is in it. So it's very necessary for us.
And do you handle all the lyrics? Do you write all the
What?
lyrics for the band?
Yeah, we when Blackwall have some ideas or something for a theme, we put all together and then yeah, I write the songs. He do more the visual, the artwork, and so on. Coordinate. Everyone has um, its how is it called, goals or something in the band. Yeah, we do everything together. I think, but yeah, if he has some idea, I have this story. Can you write something about it? Yeah, and then
You guys
we talk
collaborate.
about it, and then yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And in '96, you hook up with Last Episode out of Germany, which was like, I think Behemoth was on there, Belphegor, Black Messiah, and Graveworm and stuff. How did you hook up with that label?
I can't remember really. I think through these demos, we sent it out, of course, to record companies, and then he was the one. He had it in the mail order, and then yeah, it developed slowly. And then he said, "Yeah, we want to bring the album," and we recorded it in '97. So this Morgenröte, the debut album.
Yeah.
He was from Nuclear Blast, I guess. Carsten, the chief of this guy
What
at
was
the
the first thing you
beginning.
did with them was what? This the 2-song 7-inch in '96, the Kriegsgötter, the Gods of War, right? That was the first thing you did with that label. Last Episode, out release wise.
I think he released or distributed the demos in his mail order, and then came the Morgenröte album, which he released. It was the debut album, yeah, the first album.
And on that 7-inch, you guys worked with, which I get, he was known as the Godfather of fantasy art, Frank
Yeah,
Frazetta, right? Who passed away in 2010.
yeah.
Because he did work for Ingve, Nazareth, Molly Hatchet, a bunch of bands. How did so? First of all, how did you get involved with him? And what's and the important? Like, I know you kind of mentioned it a couple minutes ago, but how important is the artwork to Mystic Circle?
The artwork is very cool, but I think in that way, it was the record company. We didn't have much to do with it, but yeah, when we started the first album, since the album, we it's very necessary, of course, as I said before, because um, it it's a whole picture. It's not only the music; it's also the artwork. It's the layout. Um, Nowadays, it's the music videos, so it's all a concept in our brain, or in our head, or in our mind, and yeah, we have everything together. It's
Yeah,
not only a song; it's all the songs, and it's all the layout, the cover
it's a
which we
package
have.
deal. Everything has
It's
to
a
connect.
package, yeah, yeah, yeah.
And you mentioned the first full length you guys did. Um, so that one was basically a, a tribute to horror, the Hammer horror films, which you mentioned earlier, right? That had a lot to do with that record. Dawn,
The
a
first,
Desire of
yeah,
Darkness.
yeah. It's not a concept album in that way, but yeah, it. We were very big Hammer fans of vampires, of Frankenstein, and this Vincent Price, this old
Ingvar
whole
Cushing.
actors. Yeah, and we want to catch this vibe on the Morgue guitar. I mean, we were musically we were not so good at this time, but it was the start to develop our style and what we can do, and we want to create such a vibe like a hammer vibe on this on the thing. Yeah.
And it also we go if we go to now even like this was the first time you guys actually met Marcus, right, from Atomic Fire, because he was doing promo for that first record for you
Yeah,
guys. That's where your
yeah,
friendship
that's
formed.
right. Yeah,
Okay, and also like we mentioned earlier too, is you also on this record '97 you did your first tour, the Under the Sign of Hell, with Gorgoroth and Ori Noir. How was that experience for you?
yeah. Aura Noir don't play this tour. There was another band, and yeah, it was crazy because it was complete underground, and the audience was very hard and fucked up, and Gorgoros was a great lineup. They were brutal as fuck
That
at
was
this time.
Pest with the band at that time.
Yeah, Pest, Ares, um, who was on drums? I can't remember the name, but they were pretty cool and they were very intense at this time. To me, it
Tormentor, right?
was
Tormentor would be on drums during that period, maybe.
could be, yeah, could be, yeah, and yeah, was very intense this tour because this was real evil and intense band, and Gorgoros was really cool. Was really cool.
Did you guys play with Dimmu that same year too? In
Yeah, we
'97.
did that release show in it was 97 or something like when they did their hit album, the Triumphant, or how is it called? Yeah, that was a pretty cool show too. It was in the Rockfabrik in Ludwigshafen, Ludwigsburg, near Stuttgart. We did that show, yes.
So you guys obviously you guys would also do '97 would also be the split with Blood. Were you guys friends with them? And how did that come together? I know you
Yeah,
guys were recording at the same studios and stuff. And
yeah, it was easy. They came out of the same area, and yeah, they played extreme music, and we were fans of them. They invited us for our first show or second show, and yeah, we we said, oh, we want to do a split maybe, and yeah, they were cool.
you guys
Then we did it.
the
It
next
was Blackwar's idea, I guess, at this time.
you guys did the next full length Drachenblut. That was done? That was the first record that you guys actually stepped outside of Sound Bunker, right?
Yeah.
Um, so what made the decision to not record there again? And what was your how were you at like I'm trying to put how was your feeling on the experience of not going to the same studio that you guys had done your first three demos full length and split at?
Yeah. The Drachenblut album was a fucking huge production. It was 6 weeks or something. And we had this new lineup. We had better musicians. And this producer also worked with us together on this record. So it was a very big production. Yeah, they said, and it costs lots of money at this time. So yeah, they sent us to that studio. We learned to know this guy, and yeah, we had much more. The Drachenblut album was the first step in that bombastic. We had so much ideas, and
So
we
that was a
needed.
concept record, right?
It is a concept record, yeah, about the Nibelungen. It is an old legend from our area, big one, and we wrote the part one of this legend in the Drachenblut album. So yeah, was quite a big production, and also was very hard work to do it.
Was that the longest you've ever taken in the studio? You think?
I think Infernal and yeah, the Infernal Satanic Verses album and the Drachenblut album was the biggest and longest production.
Yeah, the cover art was done by George Schneider. Um, And we're actually going to play a track from that record now, Beelzebub. Really, we're going to play Notrum, Sword of Might from the '98 record. And this is Mystic Circle off the Drachenblut record from 1998. The track is called Notrum, Sword of Might, and we'll be back on the Tampa Morgue with Beelzebub right after this track.
With his wife and time, but they wanted
That was Mystic Circle with the track Notrum Sword of Might off the Drachenblut record that came out on the label last episode. Also, you toured with Dark Funeral right off that record, and Cannibal Corpse and Marduk. And you're a big fan of the Cannibal Corpse guys. Your experiences with them.
Yeah, because to me, like, I mean, everybody says it, but it is the truth, and I think George Corpse Grinder Fisher is one of the nicest guys I ever met in the business, because the first thing, I mean, they were big at this time also, and Mystic Circle was not so big like them. They were legends in that in this in this year. So we went on turbos, and George sat there and with Heineken, with a pallet of Heineken, and he drinks beer with us. So that was the first thing, and said hello. So we had a
And
good.
you had a relationship with Marduk too, right? And
Yeah.
you guys toured together.
Yeah, but I must say, um, we had the opportunity to play with all the old lineups. That means when Legion was there, when Bevo was there, when Frederick was there. So that was cool guys. I miss them. Yeah, Legion was a perfect cool guy too. So we had always we played with together with D-Side, with Glenn Benton, with the Hoffman brothers, with the original lineup. So it was great. We never had trouble with any one of them because they were all respectful, like Arman Amas in the earlier days, or I don't
You
know.
guys toured with Old Man's Child, right? Too in
Old
'99.
Man's Child, we played with, yeah. This Galda is one of the coolest, also, he's a crazy guy, but we always laughed our ass off. Yeah, we also
On
played
that
with.
tour, what was some shows that highlighted to you? Was there like a show on that tour with Cannibal Corpse that was just off the chain?
What do you mean?
Like, was there a show with Cannibal Corpse on that tour that you remember that was just, you know, an insane show?
Nope, not really.
All of them pretty much the.
I mean, what would you say about Cannibal Corpse? I mean, they were pretty big in the venues in Europe always. It's like they, yeah. I mean, we you must say, this booking agency, it was Metallise at this time. I don't know if you know them. They did also, I guess, maybe Monstrosity also. They did all the
It's well,
all the extreme metal bands like Marvel and Creation, Behemoth, Cannibal Corpse, I don't know, Vomitory, and so on. It's like that was like a big family at this time, and you played whole when they say they did a European tour. It was not only Germany, Switzerland, two shows in Spain. It was 37 shows all over Europe, each country, Greece, the East states like Poland, Bulgaria, Ungarn, you know what I mean? So
Riga, Lithuania.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
that was
what size venue guys were you guys playing at that time period in '99 on that tour? Was it like like estimate of what size the venues were on that
well,
tour?
you can when Eamon and Mars and so on, when we started with them, they were the headliners, and it was maybe the biggest was. I can imagine, we played with, D-Side at this time, and this was the Mean Fiddler in London, maybe 800-900. So maybe the biggest was 1,200, 1,300, but also smaller venues like 200, 300.
So you guys did that, those tours, and you also. So when you guys start working on material for the next record, the Infernal Satanic Verses record, did you feel like that you guys started adding on this? That was '99. You guys started writing that, I believe. You guys started adding more classical metal into the sound a little bit more at that time
Yeah.
period.
Um, we were young, and we don't thought about it so much. We want to say, okay, we did the Drachenblut album. What else can we do to make it next step, to make it more bombastic? And it was another scene, because the Drachenblut album was more the middle age scene, So, and the Infernal album was more this classical, demonic stuff. So we have to go more in the classical vibes. Yeah, and that was like Sarah from Therion and Cradle of Filth, Sarah Jezebel Diva. She did an opera voice on that album, which made it more that evil movie-like flair. And yeah, the keyboard sounds was a little bit more on the orchestralic thing, not in the middle age medieval thing. Yeah,
You guys played Vakken off of that. That was your first. I know you guys played it twice, right? 2006 also, but '99, you guys, that was your first time
yeah,
playing that festival.
yeah. It was crazy because King Diamond played there also.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Were you a big King fan, a Merciful Fate fan growing
not
up?
at this time, I must say, but now, yes. There were a few bands which I discovered more in the when I was 15. I mean, King Diamond is a master, you know. I hated his voice when I was younger because this, like Judas Priest, I hated this high voice, this facet. But nowadays, yeah, King Diamond is an absolutely genius. I watched this on YouTube, this Philadelphia show. Did you see it?
Oh yeah, it's great footage on that.
Crazy.
Yeah, great.
Uh,
We saw them on that tour. Me and Ed actually saw him right before the pandemic hit. Actually, we saw him,
cool.
and then 2 weeks later, everything was closed down.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
yeah. So, but he, okay, he played with Merciful Fate. He played no festivals, but with King Diamond, he didn't come for, I don't know when the last show was in Germany. So hopefully, with the new record, he is coming.
Yeah, I saw that he's actually going to be doing shows in the States later at the end of this year.
Yeah.
So he has new records supposedly because we've all been waiting for that.
Also in Mexico, he plays, I guess. No.
Yeah, and you mentioned Sarah Jezebel. She was actually you guys did a Bathory cover. It was a bonus track, right? She was on.
Yeah. Yeah, and the thing is, I can tell you, there the Kriegsgötter 2, which the cover versions from us are on. It comes out on the new label in November or December on limited vinyl. And
There's a guest singer that you can't announce though, right? I heard you talking about recently. Can you
yeah,
announce who you have a
we also recorded one more song last year or this year, I don't know, with a guest singer. So yeah,
and the Infernal Satanic record was you did a reissue of that too, right? In 2023. Was that one reissued also?
what do you mean?
The Infernal Satanic
Yeah,
Verses.
yeah,
You guys did a
the
vinyl reissue,
vinyl,
right?
yes, yes. It's limited of 500.
I noticed on that record, there's a lot of unofficial releases on that. There was like
Yeah.
a Russian label that put it out. I mean, how do I guess you can't stop it, right? It's pretty much.
Yeah, I don't care really because nowadays you don't sell much records, or you know when you sell 10,000 records for an album, you're over the top now. So in the extreme metal, so I don't care really because we are nowadays we don't care because as long as the record company want to do it, it's okay for us because we are proud of each release. So when I hold the vinyl in my hands, it's like, yeah, it's great, and we don't have to live from it. So I think I don't know. Ed can tell it. Maybe you do the money on touring, you know, and we don't tour at the moment.
You're
So
selling T-shirts.
yeah, and selling
Say, right?
selling also albums.
Yeah.
That's the
I mean,
point.
what is it, Ed? Mexico? You always tell us that when Monstrosity, you guys don't even bring merchandise. You guys
No, because
expect the boot.
they bootleg it out front, so they're
Yeah.
and their laws don't allow you to do anything about it. It's basically too bad.
It's very
There's
dangerous.
some people who still buy stuff, but if you can go outside and buy a shirt in the equivalent of $12 in American money, you're not going to spend what we charge. So sucks, but it is what it is, right?
That's it. It's also in South America or something.
No, so you guys put out that. They said that is reissued in 2023. So '99, Black War leaves the band, and that was that related to like just differences? Like you guys were at that time period, because I know you eventually left the band and stuff, and was that like basically like just creative differences, time to take a break? Because I know that you feel that you and Black War are pretty much, you guys are the staple of the band. Like you guys are the energy and the thoughts that go into it. At that time in '99, was it just time to take a break?
Well, I think it was not time to take a break. There were different opinions. I can't remember exactly what it was, but as you said, we were extreme people at this time, and we were very passionate people, and yeah, we were young, and so we had different opinions. So, and he decided not to carry on. Then he
And
this
you still finished that tour, didn't you? Or did you use a drum machine or something? But you guys still finished the tour?
yeah, we played with a drum machine. Yeah, this time it was, I don't know. I mean, we lived from the band at this time in some way, so I had to carry it on, and yeah, we tried, but it was not the same spirit. So I can say this year's were, I mean, we brought out other albums, also with no war paint, and but this was not Mystic Circle. The real Mystic Circle is when we reformed in 2000 again.
Because you guys put out, so you guys put out a collection of covers, right? You guys put out this Kriegsgauter 2 in 2000, which is which we talked about earlier, is getting re-released again. Um, you guys did a Celtic Frost cover on that, Asheron cover too.
Yep.
Covers like a medley.
We were very
And you
big
guys, which is
we were very big fans of Acheron, and it was D-side, and Acheron was, we loved that satanic style. And I mean, Acheron, this Rites of the Black Mass, is it called Rites of the Black
yeah,
Mass? Yeah.
yeah. We had Vincent on the show.
Yeah.
We had Vincent on the show. Actually, one of the first episodes we ever did.
Yeah, and he
Mr. Crowley.
was a great album.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. And what I thought was really cool, because I know you were a big fan of this band, I think of the Live After Death record, but you guys also played with Iron Maiden in 2000.
Yeah. In on the, I received a fax, and not an email, a fax.
The old fax machines.
Yeah, and they said if we want to play the Metal 2000 with Iron Maiden, because Entombed quitted, and we should get this slot at this time, and it was in Strasbourg, and there were 6 bands, I guess. I don't know. Samael played there. Spiritual Beggars. Yeah, and Iron Maiden, and I was a big Maiden fan, so yeah, it was great experience.
You also played with, I don't know what year it was actually, but you played with Motorhead and the Misfits too, right?
Yes, it was 99, and we learned to know the Misfits. We made arm wrestling with them. It was very funny.
Nice.
Yeah, and with Motorhead, yeah, it was a festival, but we also met Motorhead or Lemmy a few times, maybe 2-3 times on festivals. Yeah, it was a great experience, because I must say, when a person like Lemmy is 10 meters in front of you and you see the shining, he has this rock star aura. I don't know if if you had such an experience. It's like, it's crazy. This guy had it.
So I met Lemmy at the Rainbow
Yeah.
in Los Angeles.
And he has a special aura.
Yeah.
Is it?
There's an aura about him.
Is it or not? It is, huh?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
No, you're 100%
Yeah.
right. I felt like, I mean, I usually don't feel like this too often, but I felt like I
Yeah.
was in presence of, like, of course, Lemmy's like
Yeah.
a god to a lot of us, but I mean, just he has this, and a nice guy too, man. Totally down to earth. I mean, you know.
Great, yeah.
You guys,
I
yeah, I mean, just.
I think we met so much bands on the festivals. We had, what a cool thing was, we played Wacken, and we had the same room like the, how is it called, the Type of Negative, the other band.
Oh, Peter Steele and Type of Negative.
No, but not Type of Negative, the other band, from Peter.
Carnivore.
Carnivore. They were in
oh.
the same room. And
shit.
it was so fun, Like, this Peter Steele, he speaks German, It was so funny, and he was a little bit pissed because I drank his red wine or something like this, And the other guys were so small against him, so. But great guys. Yeah, the Misfits.
Yeah.
The Misfits were very impressive. It was Michael Graves. It was Wolfgang, blah blah blah, on the drums.
Jerry Only.
Jerry Only, and yeah, and then we played together again with them when they were a three-piece with Dees and with the other guys. And yeah, great band. And they also have this aura. It's like crazy.
Were you a Misfits fan growing up at all?
Yeah, not so much. I was more Ramones and so on. But since I must say I don't like Misfits with Danzig so much. I like Danzig by itself. These three albums were great, and I love Misfits with Michael Graves. I don't know why, but they had such great
Right.
songs on the American Psycho. It's great, great album. And I was introduced really to the Misfits by George Corpse Grinder Fisher on tour. We we
You also toured with them that year too, because you toured with Cannibal Corpse and what, Lymphonic Arc that same year? Was that 90?
was it
Was
the
that
same
2000?
year? I don't know, but yeah, we
I think
toured
it
with
was
them.
2000, right?
Maybe that was the idea to bring a drum computer instead. I don't know. But it was stupid. But we had the opportunity to play this tour, and we had no drummer. So, but
You gotta
nowadays,
survive, man.
I wouldn't make it. Shit.
Well, you guys, like you said, you guys did like 2001. You guys released the Great Beast, and then you guys did Damien, and you got. But that also for 2002 for you was a cool year because you mentioned Deicide, and you actually toured with Deicide that year, right?
Yep. Yeah, I want to talk about this area so much. We can talk about the tours, but we only talk Black War, and I only talk Black War area, um, Black War and Beelzebub. The old, we always said the old logo area.
The old
Yeah,
logo, yeah. But you guys also toured at Marduk and Cataclysm that
yeah,
year.
yeah. Cataclysm was a tour, and Glenn Benton D-side, with as I said, with the old lineup was great impressions. I had I brought my D-side album, the first press, and I get all the original autographs on this. So you must always
Nice.
say we are fans. It's like bands like Monstrosity. It was the old. I must say the old death metal scene, Tampa, Florida death metal scene. I thought always, we are very glad because the Americans can't play the black metal. It's a European thing at this time, but but there was no death metal or thrash metal band in Germany who was so good like these bands. Marvelon Creation, Incantation, Death,
Deicide,
Monstrosity, D-side, Obituary. It's like great. It's like
I know even for me, I'm originally from New Jersey. When I moved there in the '90s, for me it was like all these bands that I listened to like as a kid. Like I was still a kid at that time, but like everybody was there. You would go to the bars because we have a bar called the Brass Mug in Tampa,
yeah.
and you would go there, and there would be Glenn Benton, there would be Pete Sandoval, there would be this
Morbid
guy and
Angel,
this guy.
of
It was
course. Yeah,
overwhelming,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know. But yeah, I mean, like I said, you did your thing. You did. You guys also toured with Ancient Rites, Immortal. You guys did shows with. You guys played Sweden, Finland, Denmark, and before you left the band, you guys obviously you did the Open the Gates to Hell, the Bloody Path to God, and you guys decide to yourself that you're done, right? Like this is you put it to rest in 2007. What was your? Did you know? Like, what was your final decision where you're like, I just don't want to do this anymore?
Um, the craziest thing was we booked the studio with Andy Claassen, which is very well known from Andy Claassen.
Oh yeah.
Um, Also, we signed a new record deal with Sabina Claassen of Armageddon Records. It's nowadays Wacken Records, Wacken. So it was a big thing. It was a good thing. Um, but it wasn't. It was a very easy. After we played this tour with Rotting Christ, and I had no feeling. I had not this feeling, not this spirit anymore to carry
Passion
on
was
with the
gone.
band. So it was, I don't know. It was gone. Also, the songs were written. I read 12. I had written 12 songs for the next album. The name, everything was, but I don't know. I thought I had the spirit and more. It was I was fucked up. It was touring studio.
Did you enjoy your time at Massacre Records too? Because I know you guys switched over to them during that time period.
Um, I enjoyed the old Mystic Circle more because it was more. It was not that business shit. It was more punk, more go for it, just do it, and it was like a gang. I said, and this gang was lost. You know? So
That
yeah.
makes total sense. And
But I saw the
and then
whole
what?
world, and I played great festivals, and I loved what I do. I could live 5 years from the music, more or less. You know, so.
And you took another step too, which we'll mention. I want to ask you something, and I always wanted to ask you this. I saw this 2014, 2015. Did some of those guys try to make the band come back, and it was just squash, or is that all just bullshit rumor?
Yeah, that's not true. That's not true. The Yeah, I heard rumors they would try to, but I closed the band in 2007, and that's it. So
So,
the band
and you
was
also,
out 2007. They said blah blah blah. The guitar player would form somewhere, but that's rumors. You know, it's like
just
that
rumors. Okay,
has is
that's what I
nothing for
thought.
the books. That's bullshit.
And then basically you switched. I'm a big, obviously I'm a big punk guy, a metal guy, but I also grew up loving punk and hardcore music. I grew up in an area where it was, big, and Ed's the same way. And I know you switched gears to the punk world, with Gloom Ball and stuff and other bands. I'm not going to mention all the bands because I don't know if you really want to mention them on here. But when did you decide? First of all, when did you decide to take that step? Because I know you did a lot of touring, which I know burnt you out eventually. But at first, like, what made you decide to switch over to the punk world?
But first, it's my second passion to play punk rock and roll. Um, and it was no discussion that Mystic Circle, my baby or our baby, Black Wars and my baby was done, and I was in the mood to go on tour. So, but I don't want to have the responsibility for a band. I was fucked up with the business. I don't want to, I just want to play. I want to go
Show up
on
and
the
jam.
road. Yeah, and that's the point.
What was the difference in the fan bases? Did you notice? Because I mean, you went from like, obviously the metal is more like is a certain look to it, a certain way. But was it more relaxed for you to actually just go jam for a while on the road with a punk band and not have to, like you said, there's not the responsibilities. You don't have to make all the decisions. You don't have to deal with all the bullshit.
Yeah.
But what was the difference in the fan bases? Did you
The,
feel?
the,
Was it more laid back, the punk
the,
scene?
the difference is that there are you play for 20 people or a little bit more, and there is no organization because this band was very chaotic. But also you have this, yeah, it's a complete other world. At the beginning, it was complete fascinating because it was chaos and anarchy and like. But then I get too old for that. So when
Now,
you go on
I know
regular,
you don't drink or anything.
what?
I know you don't drink and party anymore, but were you partying at that time
Yeah,
at all? Were you like,
of course. Yeah, but also you have no driver and this and that. Well, I was never used to it because um, when you go on booking, like Ed knows, you have a booking agency and they do everything for you. You get in the tour bus, um, and you have something organized. But yeah, when you're not, I don't know. It was completely you have to drive for yourself. This guy had no booking agency. I can only speak for this bands where I was. I don't want to have names, do names now, but yeah, it was complete others. I was used to the other thing to, yeah, to have the tour dates. You have to be there. You get in the tour bus or in the van, and you play the show, and then you get out and blah blah blah. How it is normal, but that was not. You have to
and you said
drive
that
by yourself. You had no sleep, even if you have hotels. I prefer to have a tour bus because you can go whenever you want to your bunk. But now, even if you have a hotel and you come at 3 or 4 o'clock in the night in the hotel, you don't have something because you must get out at 8 o'clock. So it fucks you up.
so it was unorganized. Were you like showing up at shows and they were canceled, or like just showing up and there's no food for you guys and that kind of stuff?
Yeah, it was not that bad. We had very cool shows, but also very shitty shows. We also played together with Agnostic Front and such things, and we played good festivals. Yeah, it was a good time, but
But you at 2018, you said no more.
yeah,
That was
I,
it,
I,
right?
I was I quit the. I think I was finished with the music and quit touring. I did it for 30 years almost, so
Did you start hating the business about then? Like, I mean, you just get to be like you're touring. So how long did you tour with the punk band? Or what was the length of time that you were doing the bands?
almost
Actually,
10
multiple
years.
bands. 10 years, and just got to be a grind after a while, and you
Yeah.
just said, "Fuck this."
Yeah, I mean it was 3 4 weeks, 2 3 weeks tours, and almost every weekend. So, and I had a common job, so you get burned out someday.
So there you go. So 2018, you leave, and so I know. So we're going to talk about obviously Christmas Eve, 2020. Everything starts. The Mystic Circle begins again. What were you doing for those 2 years? Were you just like disconnected? Were you listening to like just hanging out by yourself, not jamming, nothing?
In that year, in that 2 years,
The 2019
I did
going over to
nothing, nothing,
2020.
nothing, and I uh, even thought that Mystic Circle will reform again. Nothing.
And so 2020 Christmas Eve, you meet up with
Yeah,
Black War, and discuss the reformation. Did you guys start like talking before that, or decide to meet up, or how did that take place, or where did you guys meet
yeah.
up? Did you guys just meet up at a pub or something?
We came together after different corners, and we said, yeah, we have to meet and maybe reform Mystic Circle again. And then we sit there at this evening, and it was a very easy evening. We talked about music, we talked about um, Mystic Circle, we talked about movies,
Where are
everything.
you guys meeting up at? Because I've never heard you actually say where you guys met up at. When I listened to some of the press, I know you guys was at a bar or just
No,
at
no,
like
no, at his home. He said, yeah, come. We had contact, we talked over the phone. I said, yeah, come on, we meet. And he also has a studio where we record the demos in his house. I said, yeah, we have a few ideas. And he said, yeah, come tomorrow and we start to record something. And then it sounds good. And then, yeah, the old spirit was there. And through him, he's a very big music maniac, vinyl collector. And he forced me to get into this. And now I'm completely into the music again. So I love the music. I lost the music, but I found it. Blackwell showed me that, yeah, that is our life. And
because you guys share the same visions, right? In a lot of ways, I've heard you say before that like you guys kind of are on the same page. You guys, that's a big thing with you guys because you guys start writing the next day, right after you guys get together. You guys start writing. What was the first song, which we actually opened up, I believe, with this song? Was it,
Belial is my name.
yeah, so we actually opened up the tonight's show with that.
Mhm.
That was the first song you guys wrote together.
Yeah.
Nice. You guys what? So 3 months. You guys basically put out a couple more songs. You guys are writing more songs, and you also hooked back up with Marcus.
Yeah,
Um,
we sent it to different record companies, and we get in contact with Marcus, and he said, "Yeah, wait." 2 months later, he said, "Yeah, we've reformed." He left Nuclear Blast, and they formed a new record label, and they are interested, and so things going on.
you guys also hook up with Nils, right? Who is actually a big part of the band now. Who you guys recorded with?
Yeah, Niels is. We do all the demos. It's 80% it's finished, and then we go to the real studio to give the push ups for the whole shit.
So you guys, November 19th, 2021, you guys are back. You guys put out your first release since the band's since the Bloody Path of God. You guys put out the 7-inch Letters from the Devil on 7-inch. You guys did 660 copies of that. And that has two tracks on it, right? Letters from the Devil and the God Smasher.
Mhm.
And that also starts your relationship with the artist Rafael Tavares, the Brazilian artist who did work for like Vulture, Blood Red Phone, Killgasm. Like, how did you guys get in touch with him, and how did that relationship start?
Well, Blackwell showed me. He said, "I have some painter, some artists in my mind, And he showed me some pictures, and I said, "Oh, whoa, great artist." And I said, "Yeah, because I'm very into the internet," and said, "Go on Instagram and write to him," and that's yeah. And he said, "Yeah, he can do the artwork," and that's the relationship started with him. Yeah, and he do
And you guys have since did 2022. You guys did the self-titled record with him. Then you guys did "There's the
yeah
Demon" in 2023, and he's actually not to jump ahead, but he's actually doing the new artwork for you guys for the next record.
yeah. I hope he has time. Yeah, we have to wait till the deal is signed. The new deal is signed, and we want to have him. We are in contact with Raphael. Yeah, I think he will do the new cover.
Okay, so we're gonna play actually "Letters from the Devil" now from Mystic Circle from 2021 off the. It's actually on the Mystic Circle record, but this was also on the Atomic Fire record 7-inch. That was, like I said, limited to 666 copies. This is "Letters from the Devil" from Mystic Circle, and we'll be back with Beelzebub right after this on the Tampa Morgue. and that was Mystic Circle with Letters from the Devil from the Atomic Fire Records 7-inch that was released 666 copies. And you guys did a video. So you guys did a lot of videos after you guys came back, but you guys did a video for Letters from the Devil, and Black War he directed that, right?
Yep, right.
And you guys did 3 videos. Like I said, you guys did Belial Is My Name, Darkness and Flames. I know you guys also did for the next record, the Mystic Circle self-titled. You guys also did videos for, but wasn't one of the videos you shot like it was like -10, and you guys were outside shooting a video for one of those?
What do you mean exactly?
Wasn't it? Weren't you guys? Didn't one of those videos you guys shot that in like really extreme weather?
Yes, that was the. What
Is that
was
From
it?
Hell?
From Hell, yeah, it was.
Yeah, I watched that video this morning, and you could tell when you were breathing out the freezing cold air. I mean, you could literally see it. It was made for great effect. I got to be honest with you. The video is very well done.
Yeah, thank you, man. But this was freezing cold. Like, this was real black metal, you know. It was such.
Like -10 or some shit, -10 Celsius.
Yeah, I don't know the degrees, but it was, yeah. It was the coldest night in Germany ever, I guess, or for a long time. It was real dry, but it was so frozen, everything, and we were there 10 hours or something or more. It was crazy. But, yeah.
Do you enjoy making videos? Is that something you're into, or just kind of like the process that has to be done to get the material out? Especially these days where, you don't selling an album to people is harder these days because you have to catch attention spans. You got to get people to actually, So do you enjoy the method, or is it just part of the tools?
Well, as you see, we are movie fans, and of course we enjoy it because we have not this band. We are not a band in this way that we record the bass player or we try to tell stories. So, and that's what you see. That's what I saw. What I say. An album is also the visual things like the artwork, the music videos, and the music. It's not only the music; it's the whole picture. So, yeah, we enjoy to do videos. But for the next album, there will be maybe only 2 videos because we try to concentrate for live shows. So hopefully we can go on tour if we have the strength, and we have to find some guest musicians, and then we will do some good show, I think.
And you talk about like everything goes together. We talked about the artwork. Do you actually give your eye? So how does that work with the album covers? Do you tell like Rafael Tavares like, hey, this is what we want, or do you just give him like a kind of an idea and let him run with it? Because last couple album covers, have been the Return album 2022 was awesome cover. It was great artwork. I mean, how much input do you and Black War have into that?
It should be 100% Mystic Circle, so we have 100% influence of everything we do. And I must say, Black War is for the artwork. He has his visions, and we talk about it, but it's 100% what we do. So, yeah, Raphael gets exactly the informations from us what he has to do, but he can also, because he is an artist, he can do it in his way, of course.
So you guys put out 4 singles in 2023, and then you guys released the Mystic Circle full length. So when it comes, the next record, the Ars of Daemon, which was the last thing you guys released on Fire Flash Records, that title is what? That's German for Archdemon?
Yep, right.
Okay, and you guys, like I said, you guys did 3 videos for that. And so when you guys did that, so now you guys are, I'll take off to the times now, we're in 2024. I know you guys have some stuff going on too. Because I know you guys, like you guys said earlier in the show, you guys are going to start recording the next record in August or September. So that should probably be out, what, April or May next year?
Yeah, I guess May, yes. Yeah. Marcus said they want to release April, May, June. We have to see because as I said before, we wait till the record is coming. We have to sign the record deal. and then we are ready. We are ready to go. So we have to talk with Niels, and then we hopefully start in September for the next album. So we want to close it in the middle of December because
How many songs do you have written for the new record?
8.
Eight. And three of them are concept.
Yeah, it's a story. Mhm.
Um, so you guys, so now you guys haven't played a show, and so is that a plan? Because I know I've heard you say like eventually that is a goal to play the shows, but you're not kind of focused on that right now. You're more focused on the records.
Yeah, of course. First, we have the full 100% focus on the new record, and then we start to search for some guest musicians. And if it all goes well and we feel well in it, we put on a show together. Yes,
Yeah, and touring, is that pretty much? Are you done touring at this time of your life?
of course. When we prepare for live shows, we will go on tour again. But it depends if a booking agency is interested in us, and you know, we are not a punk band. We can't play in pubs or something because we have to put on a show. So we have to make sure that the interest is there. If 20 people are interested in seeing Mystic Circle, it's like it makes no sense for us because um, our vision is to put together a bigger show with some effects and so on. So yeah, but we are maybe focused on to do not headliner shows. It makes no sense. We do some.
You just get live musicians, right? Because you guys are just pretty much, and I've with you on Blackboard's probably, we all know in bands, all three of us actually have all been in bands for many years. We all know how it works. Like the more people you have, the more problems. And usually, eventually, it gets to be more of a pain in the ass. Like just how when you're all 18 years old, it's all fun. Like hey, we're all. But when you get older, you get tired of dealing with the shit.
Mm.
Is it easier for you to just have you and Blackboard involved in the decisions and kind of, you kind of just hire rent not I don't know how you put it. They just get live musicians. They kind of follow your ideas, and then it saves all that drama, which kind of kills the band sometimes.
Yeah, it's good for both sides because when you get these musicians, they only have to play their instruments and they only have to have fun. They don't need to get inspirations. Oh, I have some song idea, blah, blah, blah. No, we have our songs. You have to play, you have to show up, and you go on stage, and that's all. So,
It cuts out all the.
and yeah, it's necessary for us to have cool guys. Like we all have. I mean, it should be like a family when you go on the road or something. They don't have the stress of, yeah, I have to write songs, I have to do interviews. No, it's like the band is like one myself. You only have to come, play with us, have fun. You have to be good musicians. That's it. You have to be to do a good performance. Nothing more.
What would you say, Beelzebub, if you had to say the best time period of this band touring wise? What would you say the best chemistry was on any from the start to the fin to now? What was the best chemistry you had as a band off of what record do you think touring wise and stuff where it felt like that family vibe?
But it was, as I told before, it was family for us when we started the band. So I can't say this was the best or this was the best. The old school area from 92 till 99 was extreme, a very extreme area, but also a very connected area. So, and
Because
nowadays,
you were hungry. Because bands are hungry back then, right? You have to even bands that we grew up listening to. You can always tell the hungry stages when the band is chomping at
of
the
course,
bit.
yeah, yeah,
There's like
yeah.
a certain passion there, a
Yeah.
certain the hunger.
Yeah, and now we say we are concentrate more of the music. We if we go on tour or not, we don't care because in the earlier days I want to play 300 shows per year. Nowadays I play maybe 2 shows and I get tired or something. It's like, but so we want to do everything right in our area. It's the legacy of Mystic Circle. We must carry on, and it's our last years with that band, so we have to enjoy it.
Now, do you think that festivals interest you more right now? Like, because Ed, like with Monstrosity, you guys are popping in a lot of festivals, Ed, right? Is that something that like the 70,000 tons of metal and shit like that? Is that something that fly in, fly out kind of thing that interests you?
Well, I don't know. My interested or our interested is at the moment when we didn't play that songs live. We played for we are two people. We record. So it's interesting for the first time to play that songs with a band, and we don't think about the live show. We if we have that feeling, we come together with musicians and we say, "Oh fuck, that song sounds great!" And then you get slowly in the mood. So what we do fire, we do that, and then we say, "Okay, now we are ready. Booking again tour, we can start." Then maybe we do a support tour. We can play festivals. I don't know. That's not in our hand because in our hand is to feel good, to have to don't get compromises. We have a picture of the show, what Mystic Circle should be, and if we can't reach it, we don't do it. We don't have to do it. We don't have to get compromised, and that's the first.
How happy are you right now with the band? Like, are you feeling like, is this like, because I know you stepped away, you did your own thing, you did another side of life, came back. Are you like, and you're back with Black War now, which I know is very important to the whole. I've heard you say there'll never be another Mystic Circle record without Black War and you involved in it. How do you feel right now, going like in 2024?
Yeah, excited. It's also a new chapter with a new record company. Also, it's we are together. Black War is together, and but also it's a big thing to work together with Marcus Voskin because we we don't have borders. We can do. We are supported by him. He said, "Yeah, do what you want. I know you do good things. I like your style." Um, yeah, it's more to it's it is and was a big part of my life through my whole life. We started the band when in '92. That's I was 20 years
A long
old.
time ago, as we
Yeah.
all know here.
So, and we know each other since I was like was 18, 19. I was 18, 19. Now we are 52. So yeah, it's like it's a family feeling because it's our own world and we have the same interests. So we are looking forward, and I'm really looking forward how the end result of the new album is sounding. So when I get the new cover artwork and yeah, crazy, exciting. We will see what's happening. So
Well, Ben, I know we definitely thank you for coming on this show, and for I know it's a so we kept you on here for a while and stuff. But what for Mystic Circle fans who are listening, like, is there any message you have for them coming up here? What month are we in here? We're July 2024. Like, what do you have to say to your fan base?
well, it's not so much. I think we like as we don't tour at the moment. We don't can speak personally to you, but if you write us over Instagram or Facebook, we are always ready for a chat. We love this. We love this community, and we are very proud because so much people knows exactly what our art should be, and yeah, it's great. It's great to have a cool, very open-minded metal community nowadays. It's like
And you are very involved in the social media aspect. So, where people, whoever wants to find merchandise or records, shirts, or anything to do with Mystic Circle, where can they go, Beelzebub?
well, they can write to us. But we also have a link on our Instagram profile where you can use this link tree to every shop from I don't know what we have or we don't have a shop by our own. We have shops from the record company or Vision Merch is in America, I guess. I don't know. They can look, but even if you Google for stuff, you can find something, I guess.
Cool, man. Well, Beelzebub, we really appreciate you coming on, man. Is there anything else you want to share that we didn't mention?
Me? No, everything.
Yeah, is there anything else you got?
No, I think everything is covered up.
We picked your brain, even
Yeah.
Ed.
Good.
So we appreciate you coming on, man. Totally,
For
and
sure.
giving us your time and stuff.
Yeah, thank you
Um,
both. I mean, it's exciting to talk with Ed, to the monstrosity guy. It's like I'm honored.
Oh, great! He's gonna blow up his head, man. Now we gotta fucking deflate it.
You know better than that.
When you are in Europe, we can meet maybe. When you're
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hopefully, if our new record ever comes out, because that's been a process.
Go for
you
it.
know
Man.
you know what that's like, trying to put something out. It's the most extraordinary
And-
thing now. Before you could put fucking 100 albums out in a year. Now it's like it's almost, even with technology,
Mhm.
it's just a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Ed got to go to Morris Sound, all those great places. So you gotta love it, Ed. You gotta,
Well,
all
yeah,
these
that was
places I'm
cool.
sure
That was a bucket
Beelzebub knows
list.
about.
Yeah, that was a bucket
Yeah.
list for sure.
All those great places, man. But so yeah, anybody who wants to check out our show, you can find us. We're anywhere streaming. Right, Ed? We're
Yep. Apple, Spotify, Amazon, YouTube, Instagram for the, to find our shows and what's
Our
happening and our
shows.
futures, and the TampaMorgue at gmail.com for more hate mail, because we love it. Even though we
Yes,
don't get
this
any
is-
really, but it's fun.
Episode 54. Like I said, we have King Fally from Deceased coming on August 7th. We have Mike Deanna on August 10th from the old Boiled Angel comic. We got some more stuff lined up too. Anybody, you could find us like all the places. Ed, you can check us out on Facebook, even though we really don't do much on there. We're trying to figure out the whole Facebook thing because I don't know how you draw traffic to that thing.
Yeah. The
You
old.
know, but we really appreciate everybody who listens, of course, and people who email us. I just got some great emails this week who listen to us, and we really appreciate all the words. Beelzebub, we're gonna let you get out of here too, man. Anything else you want to say? Peace or goodbye to anybody?
I say goodbye. See you on tour, maybe, hopefully, and thanks for this fucking cool interview. Thanks.
Of course,
It was our
man.
pleasure.
And we'll say goodbye to you, Beelzebub, in a minute when we hang up. Everybody else, thanks as always for listening. Check us out. Like I said, we got 54 episodes up. You can find them all on everywhere you can listen to podcasts, and feel free to say what's up, whatever. Everyone, check Mystic Circle. Ed, you have a good week, man. I'll see you with King Fally on. It'll be our 1-year anniversary,
Yes,
August
sir.
7th. There you go. Everybody else, thanks for listening to the Tampa Morgue, and we'll see you again.
See ya.